Hey Libra, welcome to Key Wisdom Tarot. Ruth here with your monthly intuitive reading for June. Whatever comes up in this reading will come up and we'll talk about in detail. My rules to live by are acknowledge what you're experiencing, accept your reality, and tell the truth. So that is also my intention for you for this reading. Okay, the cards are ready. This is the energy that you will enter. I'm laughing and I'll tell you why in a second. This is the energy that you will enter the month of June in, and that's the energy of the Nine of Cups. And I'm laughing because, you know, when I'm preparing for your reading before this, I shuffled, this was at the base of the reading, it was the only card that I saw, and now it's here. Okay, so Nine of Cups. So this is about your deepest desires, your deepest emotional desire, like what it is you want. A knowing and understanding of what that is, a knowing and understanding of what your deepest desires are, and it's being driven by this energy here, which is the Magician. Wow. So you've got the Magician energy, this energy of focused concentration in order to manifest. So absolutely understanding exactly what it is you need to do in order to create this. That is a great way to start the month, Libra. How lovely. Nice. Okay, this is your recent past. You've had the Hanged Man. You know, see, and I'm not surprised then. You know, I'm not surprised that you now enter this month knowing your deepest desires. And actually also with an understanding of what it is to create your desires, because you've been in this energy, your recent past of the Hanged Man, which means you have had to readdress, you've had to reassess, you've had to reflect on, look at your previous experiences, your previous experience, work, etc., that now helps you. Oh, it's a lovely cycle, this actually. So for some of you, this is actually for work and career. You know, some of you have actually starting to create something, starting to build something. Let's have a look at your near future. It's interesting because I've not gone to the bottom for any of these cards apart from now here. Ten of Swords. So we have this energy of the Ten of Swords. This is the exposure of all that you have truly been limited by in your thinking. So in all the ways that your thinking has been limited, and in all the ways that that limited thinking has actually impacted on you physically and emotionally and in your ability to manifest, there's a knowing and a full, complete understanding of all that now for you. So you really may have had this you know, you might have been, you know, you think negatively or you think positively or you think that you're this or you think that you're that or you're anxious or whatever it is in your thinking. This with the Ten of Swords shows that there's been, you get to this point where you've thought it all. You've gone through all the list of things that can go wrong and can't go wrong, and all the ways that this will be damaging to you, and all the way you've gone through all those scenarios and those imagined scenarios in your head. And not only have you gone through those, you've also there's also with the Ten of Swords a recognition of the impact of carrying and of retaining those thoughts, of retaining those patterns of thinking. There's an understanding and clarity coming through for you in this month, Libra. Okay, and these are your outcomes. I mean, I always say our as if I'm I mean, I'm not a Libra or a Gemini or any of the card readings that I've done today, but I keep saying our. Like, it's not mine. That's a clarifier for that one. These are your outcomes, and we'll look at these. These three are the outcomes. We'll look at these. Clarify as we go. All right, that's it. But basically the reading, 10 of Wands, Judgment beneath that, 5 of Swords beneath, above that. So it's interesting because I'm getting the message now that you're probably not going to see this coming. I'm getting the message now that you probably were surprised to see the Nine of Cups. You were probably a bit surprised to see the Nine of Cups, thinking, oh my gosh, and the Magician thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on? Because it feels like your experience, your external experience, you know, or your experience on the surface has actually been quite a challenge for you, especially when I see the Judgment and the Ten of Wands. Card at the base of the reading, Ten of Wands, we've got another 10. So we've got a new beginning. So we've got 111 here. We've got one more. Tiny, that was mummy. We've got 111 here. So that shows that there is a new beginning here. You know, we've got this opportunity for a new start. You have an opportunity for a new experiences, new landscapes, new horizons for yourself. But to get to those kind of new places, new experiences, we have to acknowledge the impact of the current world that we are in. We have to acknowledge the impact of our current realities. And that's the type of thing that you've been going through with the Hanged Man and with the Ten of Wands. You've been going through this energy in your recent past of, this is restriction here. So this is feeling it, knowing that you're feeling it, but ignoring it. Ignoring it no more. That's what this is. So this is like, oh my God, like I have to, you know, like, you know, I have to like sort this out. I really have to sort this out. I really have to sort it out. I really have to tell them how I feel. I really have to like explain to them. I really have to explain to them. And then this is the point where you're like, oh my God, like, but not doing it, knowing that you have to do it, knowing that you have to face it, knowing that you have to confront it, but not confronting it. But not confronting it any longer. So this means you are going to have to confront it. You are going to say it. You are going to reach breaking point. You are going to be, oh my gosh, please, like I cannot do this anymore. I cannot live this anymore. I need to do this. I need some support in this, or whatever it is for your life. So I feel enthused and encouraged by these experiences, because it's like unavoidable truths, unavoidable realities, unavoidably you're not able to avoid your truth. You're not able to avoid the discomfort that not telling your truth creates for you anymore. Okay, so you start this month, you enter June with this energy of the Nine of Cups. Okay, this knowing, this desire, knowing, I know what I desire. I know what I feel. I know what I need. I know what would make me feel good, what would make me feel better, what would make me feel happy. And yeah, I mean, this is exactly what this is. Here we see clarified by the Eight of Cups. So emotional cycles with number 8. The thing that I love about this energy is it's such a quick energy. The cycle in itself isn't quick, but when you see the Eight of Cups, it means that you've recognized the cycle. And as soon as you recognize it, you break the cycle. So that's why I love to see, and that's clearly what we have here, because we've got the 8 and the 9. So you've been in this place where you fail to recognize an emotional cycle for some time. Hanged Man, Ten of Wands, and that Judgment, that shows that you've been in a way of feeling, or you've been in a way of thinking for some time. I feel like the period's been 4 months, but it could be long. It could be any time period your life. But as soon as you recognize that you think in a certain way, or you feel a certain way about something, then you can change that thinking. And that's exactly what we have. So you might think, I can't do anything about how men treat me, or about how I feel about women, or about how my past relationship. As soon as you realize that, it's like, oh my God, I can. It's like you realize that you can. You recognize that suddenly, and I feel like this suddenness, it seems sudden because we've got the Magician there and the Eight of Cups, but it's not sudden. It's the Hanged Man energy, which tells me that you have been in the recent past reevaluating, reassessing, looking over, reviewing how you did, what you said, what you thought in the relationship, or in that connection, or in that job. Because it's all easy looking at everybody else's behavior, but you have to look at yourself. You have to look at you. And that's what the Hangman does. It makes you look at you. It makes us look at our own truth. It makes us, it gives us that space to acknowledge what we're experiencing, and to acknowledge how what we've done, how what we do, how what we say actually affects and creates our environment and the relationships and the job and whatever, and the feelings and the anxieties. Okay. So we've got that with, yes. Okay. So this is showing here. So we've got 3, 3, because that's 12. And then that's number 3. You know, synchronicities again. So we've got 1, 1, 1, well, 1, 10, 10, but 1, 1, you know, 3, 3, you know, so we've got these synchronicities coming on. So it does show and feel like there's going to be there's movement now. There's a door opening. There's either new, there's this new awareness that brings about change. You know, this is what it's like. It's like, it's instant almost in this case. It seems instant, but it isn't. On the surface it might seem instant, might seem magical, but it's because you've been in this process of reflection. Okay, so we move in, I don't know, look at it, I feel this energy of the Magician. You have found something within yourself. It's like we're all in the same energy, I think, currently, you know, universally. You know, we're all starting, we've all located something within ourselves, something that we know, something that we've learned, something that we now understand that we didn't understand before. This reflection has helped us, is helping us to do differently, to do things differently, to say differently, to act differently. And that is creating a, you know, that is really creating different, it's making us act differently, and that's creating different environment for ourselves. And that's what you're doing. You know, this is facing up to it all, like all the anxiety, right, okay, yeah, that's what I feel. I need to just acknowledge it. I need to just accept it. I need to just, this is like, nothing's hidden now. Nothing's hidden from yourself. You're not hiding from yourself. You've not got that little box. I mean, you might still have other little boxes dotted around your mind or your brain, that you, other little doors that you lock. But in this, for whatever this specific cycle that you've been in relates to, that there's no doors locked anymore. There's no boxes hidden anymore. It's out in the open for you. You're feeling it, you're seeing it, you're allowing yourself to acknowledge it. And this is what we need. This is healthy, because it helps us to move forward then. Helps us to gain new then, see more then. Clarified by the 9 of Wands. So see, he's looking at this, right? You know, looking at this, he you know, your divine masculine knows. Divine masculine, that means we're taking action. That means we're paying attention. The divine feminine always knew. The divine feminine, that's what do you think she writes down in a little book? You know, that's the ground of all consciousness, babe. You know, you've got access to that at all times. You know, that understanding is there at all times. But you have to look at it. You have to look at what you understand. You have to engage with what's beneath the surface. On a little notepad, what she's writing down, the divine feminine, the high priestess, your inner knowing. And that's what we see here. As we see this happening now, we see this process of you actively engaging with your anxieties, with your fears, with your cycles, with your ways of thinking. You're actively engaging in that now. That's what we see here with these energies, okay? Let's look at outcomes. 2 of Swords, King of Swords, the Lovers. Wow, we've got decision, decision, decision. Indecision, decision, decision. So you see, look at this lovely row here with the King of Swords, the Magician, and the Nine of Cups. You know, look, on the 9 of Cups is crossing his arms, but on the other 2, we've got our arms outstretched, our arms open. We've got a connection between what is above, so my highest ideals, my deepest understandings and my deepest inner knowings, with what is below, i.e. what is manifest and where what is manifest comes from. We have that connection now. I keep saying we, you Libras understand now what is felt, where what is felt comes from, what and how that affects what I do, and how that affects what I say, and how that affects the directions that I want to go in. You are still in the course as you enter June, you are still in the course of understanding, knowing how you're going to create the physical changes in your life, Pentacles. But there's an understanding on an emotional level, i.e. acknowledging your emotions. There's an understanding on a mental level, i.e. this is what I know. There's an understanding coming through for you on what you need to say, on what you want, on how your thinking affects your physical world. There's those types of understandings are leading you toward what it is you truly desire and want, whether that be a love relationship. For some of you it will be, it may be, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're not seeing necessarily, the only actions I'm seeing are, you know, the divine masculine. What the divine masculine is doing is creating what you want, trying to create what you want. But it's like understanding what it is you want with the, and for some of you that might be a conversation. So if you have been in a love relationship, in separation, whatever, do you want to have a conversation? You know your life. But we see that masculine energy here of the King of Swords. I just want to finally just clarify the Lovers here with the Sun card. Okay, wow. And the Magician, the Five of Swords. So I just wanted to clarify that Magician because it's winking at me. And this is like disbelief. I feel like that's probably what your Eight of Cups is. It's probably your dissonance, one of the dissonant mental states is aversion. And I feel like it's kind of, you have a way of thinking, a filter. And your filter is, it doesn't matter what's going to happen, it's not going to be good. Or it doesn't matter what's going to happen, it's going to be amazing, you know? So you could be an optimist or a pessimist, right? People talk about being optimist and pessimist. So you could be an optimist or a pessimist. This is like being an optimist or a pessimist. Because either way, it's a delusion, being an optimist or a pessimist. What you need to be is a realist and just look at what's there, right? So this is kind of, it's like there's a disbelief in a sense in what you can create. But I think, well, if that's it, yeah, that's Eight of Cups. So this is what I feel like it's this disbelief, you recognizing that the disbelief's created as it is, you know, you disbelief. I can't wait when I launch my new channel, guys, coming up very soon, hopefully, fingers crossed for our business meeting on Friday. But when I launch this new channel, this is the type of stuff we're going to be looking at, but in a practical way, so you can actually recognize this. But I really feel like you are recognizing the kind of the cycles that you put yourself in, that you've placed yourself in. You've placed yourself within this chain of, I'm an optimist or I'm a pessimist or whatever it is. It's about thinking a certain way and not overriding that until now. It's like the old ways of thinking are going to be overridden. So your disbelief, it's actually what's driving this new love or this new experience that you're going to be encountering over this time period. Your disbelief is actually bringing about proof that this can all be laid behind you and that you can move forward and that you can have this really beautiful, open, honest, if it's relationship, whatever it is, if it's just life, you can live differently and you can be authentic in your life and you don't have to lie to yourself anymore. That is going to be the path that you're walking this month, and it's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one to know, to really truly understand your truth. Okay, my fabulous Libras, I really hope you liked this reading. You're right here, right in the center of your reading as well. Actually, I've just realized that I really hope you like this reading. Your next reading will be in 4 weeks' time, okay, at the end of June. I'm just going to be reading once a month for each sign now, because I have got another brand to launch, and it's just taking so much time and energy and effort, but I can't wait till you guys see it. Okay, my darlings, have a wonderful June, and I will see you all again in 4 weeks' time for your brand new reading. Take care, my darlings. Bye.